But you can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
You want to kill me? You can't kill me. I'm 1,200 years old.
You don't look a day over 12,000.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
When you look back at the past decade in games, there have been a long list of games that I would state as being pretty memorable. Sure, you have the best of the best, like Breath of the Wild, God of War, Red Dead Redemption, Inside, Sonic Boom, Rise of wait, who put that on the list? Anyways, my point being is that this decade has offered a great amount of games that I will occasionally think about. One such game is Ninja Theory's DMC Devil May Cry.
Begin, shall we? Round one. Should be a cakewalk for a well-endowed man like you. Round one.
This way, I think.
DMC sticks out in my mind for a number of reasons. The game received a fair amount of backlash before release and was taking a very fan-loved franchise in a different direction.
Virgil says it could be
Once it released, it was pretty well received by critics. It couldn't completely win over a chunk of the fan base who revered Devil May Cry 1, 3, and 4. Not you, Devil May Cry 2. Not you. As my first experience with the franchise, I really loved DMC once I finally got around to playing it a couple years later, which led me to go back and play the rest of the games, which I also enjoyed to a lesser degree. In the years since then, I still recall some of the fun moments that DMC provided, along with some of the levels within the game, which I find to be secretly really dang good, especially some of the later levels in the game. However, I also think about the odd backlash the game got, especially coming from someone who wasn't very knowledgeable about the series until the last few years. The internet can be a harsh place for game developers, and Ninja Theory experienced that firsthand with some of the angry Devil May Cry fans being very upset with the new look of Dante and the sort of reboot of the series. Fans really were not pleased with Dante's lack of white hair, which is on the level with Marvel's Spider-Man Puddlegate controversy for one of the stupider pre-release complaints. While I wasn't a fan of the series during that time, I can understand any smart criticism or concerns about taking a series in a new direction for a studio that wasn't under Capcom's umbrella. The same thing happened with Metroid when Nintendo handed the series to Team Ninja, which is oddly similar to Ninja Theory, which led to the creation of Metroid Other M, which was very underwhelming for most Metroid fans. Probably all Metroid fans, honestly. Not having longtime creators like Hideki Kamiya and Hideki Itsuno heading a new Devil May Cry title would probably make me a little worried about the series as well. So in retrospect, some of the concerns are justifiable, but I still don't think the game deserved the backlash that it received. The memorable pre-release news and discussion revolving around DMC is certainly a memorable aspect of Ninja Theory's game. Yet what I remember most about DMC is just how fun of a game it was.
That just seemed to drag on forever. Church.
People play Devil May Cry for the combo-heavy action and the ridiculous moments. DMC has both of those, with a more punk rock vibe. Dante's moveset still has some of the classic moves and attacks that were in other Devil May Cry titles, but the world and Dante as a character are different than the core series. I'm probably gonna get blasted for this, but I think DMC is the best plain Devil May Cry game. I find it easier to chain moves together and move around in fights. along with it being easier to swap between weapons than some of the earlier games. When you find a groove and are able to get a good grasp of how to use many of the combos in Dante's arsenal, the game is an absolute blast to play. I'm not going to act like I was good at the series. I'm okay, and DMC makes me feel like I'm better than I normally am at these games. It's probably because it is a little easier than a typical Devil May Cry title. One of the more positive things I can say about DMC is that the game definitely ended up having some influence on Devil May Cry 5. DMC 5 upped the stylish nature of the core series and introduced the character-specific songs.
Now what we have here is some truly shocking footage of the terrorists, known as Dante, at the Bellevue Pier recently. So what do we know about this Dante? Several people have now come forward, and investigators have pieced together a shocking history of violence. At age 8, he attacked and killed the head nurse at St. Lamia Orphanage. She was described as a sweet old lady who particularly enjoyed working with children. Between the ages of 11 and 15, he broke out of no less than 8 youth detention facilities, often mounting brutal...
They got more intense the better you were doing. It isn't a direct one-to-one influence, but those aspects were somewhat similar to what you see in DMC. I think the aspect of DMC that gets picked apart the most is the way the game tackles Dante, compared to the original Dante. You know Dante from Devil May Cry. Met Dante.
The Octagon, but he might be trapped in limbo.
How do we get to him?
I don't know. I'm stuck in here.
Is there something I can do from limbo to break you out? Think!
Dante in DMC is very much a douchey acting character. In the first hours of the game, he doesn't feel nearly as likable as the original, yet I find him to grow into a pretty likable protagonist by the end. He may not be the Dante that traditional fans know, but he does mature, and I think his arc in the game is pretty well done for a brand new origin story. The game doesn't have a knockout story or dialogue, but I find it to be better than most of the games in the franchise. Another aspect of DMC that I believe is some of the best in the series is the level design. The mix of real world melding together with Limbo creates some distorted looking environments that lead to some memorable sights and moments. Some of the levels in the latter half of the game really left an impression on me when I originally played the game a few years ago. Last Dance and The Plan being the standout levels in the game for me. Those levels didn't completely blow me away in my most recent playthrough, yet they still delivered some of the better sections in the game for me. Most of the levels revolve around a specific boss, and the bosses themselves might not hold up to some of what you see in DMC 5. There are more than a couple that I really enjoyed, with the final boss fight reminding me a lot of DMC 5's finale as well.
Sorry, brother. Guilty.
I don't know if I would still call DMC the best game in the series after my recent replay, but the game is one of the better ones in the franchise. I still found many of the moments of action to be fun, even when some of the enemy encounters were a little lacking on occasion. Looking back on DMC Devil May Cry, the game still remains a memorable experience in my book. While some fans and even Capcom might be trying to sweep this title under the rug to be forgotten, I still place it on the display along with the rest of the Devil May Cry series. It might not fit or be perfect, but it is an interesting game that deserves to be discussed when you talk about the past decade and games.
Get out here!
Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my look back on DMC. I'll be back soon with some more random videos, but make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
She was right. This is hell.